A billion-dollar ad campaign to sell you a paper straw, a recycling symbol that legally means absolutely nothing, and the oil giant that invented the concept of personal responsibility to hide its own crime scene. By the end of this video, you will understand exactly how greenwashing became the most sophisticated psychological operation in corporate history, and why the company telling you to save the planet is the very same one lighting the match. You are about to see how your guilt was weaponized into their profit. Stop looking at the melting glaciers on the news. Look at your own kitchen trash can. You stand there, washing out a yogurt cup. You peel off the label. You separate the paper from the plastic. You buy the eco-friendly laundry detergent that costs $3 more. You do this because you are a good person. You do this because you feel the weight of the world on your shoulders. You feel that if you don't recycle, the apocalypse is your fault. This anxiety is not an accident. It was manufactured. They have successfully shifted the burden of the climate crisis from the boardroom to your living room. While you stress about taking a 5-minute shower, they are spilling millions of gallons of crude oil into the Gulf of Mexico. The stakes here are your sanity and your wallet. You are paying a morality tax. You are paying extra for products that claim to be green, but are chemically identical to the toxic ones. They aren't just polluting the air, they are polluting your mind. They are selling you a false sense of agency so that you remain a passive consumer rather than an angry citizen. To understand this grand illusion, we have to look at the playbook. It was written by PR firms in New York and London. It operates in 3 cynical steps. Step 1 is the setup, the great rebrand. We have to go back to the year 2000. British Petroleum was one of the biggest polluters on Earth. Their reputation was toxic. So, they hired the advertising agency Ogilvy and Mather. They changed their name to BP. They claimed it stood for Beyond Petroleum. They replaced their shield logo with a green and yellow sunburst named the Helios. It looked fresh, it looked natural, it looked like a flower. They spent $200 million on the rebrand. But here is the catch. At the time, they were spending 45 times more on drilling for oil than they were on renewable energy. It was a costume. They realized that it is cheaper to look green than to be green. This set the standard. Now, every bank, every airline, and every fast fashion brand has a sustainability report full of stock photos of wind turbines and leaves, while their business model remains 100% extraction. Step 2 is the trick, the invention of the carbon footprint. This is the masterstroke. In 2004, BP unveiled a new tool, the carbon footprint calculator. It allowed you, the regular person, to calculate how much damage you were doing to the Earth. Did you drive to work? Did you eat meat? Did you fly to see your grandma? This wasn't an educational tool. It was a deflection tactic. By popularizing the term carbon footprint, they successfully made carbon an individual problem, not an industrial one. Before this, pollution was seen as something factories did. After this, pollution was seen as something you did. They privatized the guilt. They got you arguing with your neighbor about using plastic bags, so you wouldn't look at the smokestacks behind the fence. Step 3 is the proof, the recycling lie. You trust the chasing arrows symbol. You see 3 arrows in a triangle on the bottom of a plastic bottle, and you think this is recyclable. You are wrong. That symbol is not a recycling guarantee. It is a Resin Identification Code. It was created by the Society of the Plastics Industry in the late 1980s. They knew that the public was turning against plastic. They needed to make people feel good about buying it. So they slapped a symbol that looks like recycling on every piece of plastic, even the types that are chemically impossible to recycle. The result? Less than 10% of all plastic ever produced has been recycled. The rest sits in landfills or floats in the Pacific Ocean. But the symbol did its job. It gave you permission to keep buying. It alleviated your guilt just enough to keep the consumption engine running. So, how do they cash out? Through ESG investing, environmental, social, and governance. This is the modern wealth transfer. Wall Street realized that green companies attract more investment. So, corporations started gaming the system. They issue green bonds. They get lower interest rates on loans if they meet certain sustainability targets. But who sets the targets? Often, the companies themselves. A fast fashion giant will claim they are sustainable because they used 5% recycled polyester in one collection, while they incinerate tons of unsold clothes in the desert. The executives get huge bonuses for hitting these fake targets. The stock price goes up because BlackRock and Vanguard want to invest in responsible companies. The money flows from your pension fund into their pockets, validated by a lie. They are monetizing the destruction of the biosphere and calling it progress. We are living in a Potemkin Village of sustainability. We have paper straws wrapped in plastic. We have electric Hummers that weigh 9,000 pounds. We have clean coal. It is all theater. The ultimate success of propaganda is not when you believe the lie. It is when you repeat the lie to yourself to feel better. We are scrubbing the stains off the Titanic while it sinks. The question isn't, is this product eco-friendly? The question is, if the company selling it to you admits that their business model is killing the planet, would you stop buying it? Or would you prefer they just lie to you so you can sleep at night?